Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Angela. This is Angela Loves to Stitch. It is a floss tube about cross stitching and a little bit of knitting and maybe some other like needle art type stuff, but that's about it. All right, so we're just gonna get straight into the stitching. I will put in some life updates kind of along with the story, but there really isn't much that's happened in the past week. A little bit, but not much. So we're just gonna get into the stitching, and the Summer of Dimension starts. So as I've said in the past few videos, I wanted to start a new dimensions kit because I have a lot of them. I wanted to start one every week during the summer, and I'm counting the summer as June, July, and August. So that would be, around 12 new starts during the summer. And I figured, why not dimensions, because I have so many of their kits. And so I have really been enjoying it. It's actually got me back into the stitching groove, I guess. Now I'm still not like fully back into it, but I've just been really enjoying it. And the past 2 months, because they've been so stressful for me, I just haven't had the mindset to stitch or even like count. So I feel like I'm slowly being able to do that. And so, and I have a crick in my neck, or something. I pulled something in my back. So if I move like slowly around, because everything's on this table behind me, then that is why I'm moving so awkwardly. Okay, so for last week, my pick was this dimensions kit. It's called Winter Morning, and I'm sitting in front of a window, so there's gonna be like a reflection, but it's a nice winter scene with the ducks and the snow and the barn, and I guess a sunrise because it's winter morning. So this design is by Russell Cobain, and it's a gold collection kit. And I don't think this is currently in print. I don't know. I'm not really sure if it's in print or not, to be honest with you. I know there's one that's very similar. I think it's called Winter Retreat. It's another kind of snowy scene, but I actually saw this one stitched up by Luda, I believe. Let's see, it was. I'm picking something off of this. Okay, let me just show you where I got. Now, I worked on this. I picked it last Monday, and today is Monday, a week later. I only got to work on this for pretty much 3 days. 3 days of stitching time, not 3 whole days. I mean, but I'm just saying, because I went out of town on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. No, Thursday afternoon, Friday, and came back Saturday, and I didn't stitch on it in the car. I stitched on it a little bit yesterday, but so this is just the very first half of, it's like the top right half, I guess, like right in here. And it may be showing backwards. I haven't figured out how to do that with my camera. So it's the first, I think it's the pattern's only 2 pages. So I was gonna do this page and then move over here and do the next. So it goes that way. And these are all pretty much half stitches. So it's been pretty easy. And I am going to put this away now because it's time for me to move on to the next dimensions kit that's chosen. Let me show you the choices. So I did something a little bit different this time. Is I went on Instagram and I put pictures of the 2 projects that I have for the 4th week, or my 4th dimension start of the summer. And the choices, I put a poll like in the stories, and then I put one also, because you can do a poll just on like your regular post. I did it both places. And the choices I asked to help me choose is between this one, which is hydrangea in bloom, which I went on there asking for good like hydrangea patterns, and then I found this one. I thought, well, it's a petite from the Gold Collection, so that should be, maybe it wouldn't take as long, but it still looks pretty detailed, like when you get into those flowers. And then there's the kit. So I actually ordered this after someone suggested it off of eBay. I mean, it was like $10. I found it, so that's good. And it has some beads in it too. And then the other choice was this one, which is an older pattern. It's called Garden Gate. No, wait, it's not called Garden Gate. There's another one that I have that's called Garden Gate or something. This is Garden Door, and it's by George Bjorklund, and this is from 2003. I love the scene. I love it because it's an oval and it's different. I'm not a cat person, but for some reason I love this little cat. I just think it's so sweet, just sitting there. But I just think the overall picture of the garden is, or like garden shed, whatever, is just so peaceful feeling to me. And that's why, you know, I put it in my choices. So to begin with, this one was winning. And then this one was winning. And I was like, actually, this one was so far ahead that I was like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and start kitting it up, which I did, you know, just to kind of get that part out of the way. Haven't started it yet. But then this one started winning, and it was very close, but this one ended up being the winner by like a couple of votes. So, the last time I looked, I hope that, anyway, this is the one I'm doing. This is the one I've decided to do. So I'm going to start that today. And I have, I'm working on, in the pattern, it has the instructions, it has 2 bundles, because the thing that's taken me so long to kit it up is because it's one of these older ones that has all the thread in there, but they're not sorted out like on the pre-sorted cards, which makes it so much easier when they're already pre-sorted into their colors, because some of the colors are so similar. It's really hard to tell the difference between, there was, what color was it? A cream and I don't know, I can't remember. There was 2 colors. It was cream and something else, and they were so similar. And I was like, these look exactly the same to me. I think it was light brown. I don't know. It was something very similar to cream. I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference when I get it all in here. I hope not, but they're so close. I don't see how it could make a big, huge difference. So look for the start of Garden Door. I'm having a hard time saying that. Garden Door. And I will show that to you in the next video, like what I've done over the week and starting today. Okay, I'm gonna throw these down. It's gonna make a noise. Sorry. Okay, I'm trying to see what's behind me. Now, a little bit of excitement for me. So on Thursday afternoon, my husband and I left to go to Panama City Beach. My dad has a condo that he's been living in down there, and because we've moved him to Georgia, we are going to, I needed to go down there and figure out the whole, like, where is his mail? I needed to get his bills, and I needed to just look in his condo and see, like, what are we dealing with here? get some of his clothes, etc. Anyway, on the way down there, I said, we actually got through Atlanta, and I wanted to do this when we got through Atlanta at a decent time, because sometimes you get stuck in Atlanta traffic and it puts you back like an hour or two. I mean, it could, depending on what happens. So once we got through Atlanta in a decent amount of time, I looked at my husband and I said, can we stop at a cross-stitch store on the way? And the one I'm referring to is Garrel Stitchery. That's in Ozark, Alabama. So Ozark is very close to Dothan, and we drive right through Dothan to get to to the Panama City Beach. And we knew that we weren't in a hurry, that we were just supposed to meet my sister and her husband down there that night, and we left a little bit early and got through Atlanta. And so I was like, please. Now, cross-stitching and crafts and any of this stuff is not in my husband's, he does not. He likes that I have the hobby, but none of that interests him. He is not interested in the least. And I was like, you could go in there with me. He's like, oh no, I will not be going into the cross-stitch store. And I was like, he's like, the only way that I'm going to go into this, he's like, the only way that we're going to stop is if I'm going to make it my work stop, because he was taking off a day at work and his phone was blown up and he really did need to catch up on emails and return some phone calls. And so he decided that it was okay, we had time, and we drove, because it really is probably, because you kind of have to go like a little bit out of your way, but maybe 30 minutes. It was like 30 minutes out of the way. So we got there. I was so excited. I sent a message to their Facebook, and I was like, are you open? Because I just wanted to make sure before we got there and took the detour and everything. And they said they were, and we were there in plenty of time. So I get there, and I was so excited because I had never met Gary and Ronnie in person. And I wanted to see their store because I don't have an LNS anywhere near me. And so very rarely do I get an opportunity to actually go into one. Now, I knew I was on a time crunch because my husband was not going to wait out there forever. And so I said, give me 30 minutes. Give me 30 minutes. I'm going to use the restroom. Hopefully they have one. And I'm going to do a little shopping. So I walk in, and it was Gary there, and he doesn't know me from, maybe he does now, I don't know, but he didn't know me from anybody. I don't think he watches my channel, I don't think. And anyway, so I introduced myself, said I sent you a message, and it was just, the shop was beautiful. It was so organized and nice and new and clean, and just so welcoming, and with all the bright colors. And I'll try to put some pictures in right here. I think I only took like 2 pictures, maybe 1. And I'm sure you've seen them all over Instagram anyway. Excuse me. So anyway, I know I'm saying anyway a lot. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think through this. So then I did some speed shopping, and I thought, and I know a lot of people don't like haul, but I wanted to show you what I ordered. So it was just some things that I've been wanting to get, and I don't know exactly if I'm going to use them. Some of the stuff, I don't know what I'm going to use it for. And one of the things I started immediately as soon as I got back in the car. So we'll start with that one. Ugh, sorry, I'm having to reach. Okay. So I ordered this pattern, or I bought it at the LNS, my LNS. It's because it's like, I guess, the closest thing I have, like I said, unless someone else knows one that's closer. There probably is one closer, but I'm going to call it my LNS because I do order online from them a lot. So I got this one from Heartstring Samplery. It's called Who Let the Frogs Out? And I just think it's cute. And I wanted something that was like pretty easy, that used like just one color. And then Gary showed me this fabric that is by Fox and Rabbit. It's called Swamp Thing, and it's 18 count. And we measured it, and I think it's gonna fit. And I started in the middle, and that's what I stitched in the car right after I left the shop. And I know that you're not gonna get like a true representation. Maybe that's a little bit better. When I get up close, it gets too washed out. But it's green with, not like the bright green that's in the pattern. It's a totally like different green, but it's got like the modeling on it, but not like too much. And so Gary helped me pick out the fancy, well, what did it call for? It called for, I think it called for grits in this pattern. I mean, in this, you know, on this, with that fabric. So I got a grits just to see what it would look like. And I stitched a little bit with the grits, and to me, it was too light. If the fabric had been darker, maybe, you know, like that one, but still, I kind of feel like the wording doesn't pop out to me. It's hard for me. I don't know, maybe it's, on this darker one, it sticks out, it pops out more, but on this lighter one, it didn't as much. And so we looked, and we also liked, I say we because he helped me, Juniper by Weeks, and then I'll put them up on there. And then this one called Monkey Grass, and it's a little it's more variegated than the Juniper. You can kind of see. And so I decided to go with, that's what they kind of look like. I decided to go with this one, the more variegated one. Because this one was so dark, though it didn't really look, to my eye, I'm keep squeezing my eyes because I'm having to refocus because of this window and the brightness, but to me, it looked too dark. Like I couldn't hardly tell it looked black to me almost, because I know it was hard to tell it was green. And this one you can tell is green. Anyway, what do you think? You think that's gonna look good? Gary, I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna tag your YouTube in this, and you tell me, do you think that looks okay? Is that gonna stick out or pop out enough? Anyway, so I worked on that, and so I'll always remember this one. It's green for, you know, Gary, and the color of their shop and the day, and I started it right after I left their shop. And so I'm always gonna remember that. When I look at this piece, I'm always gonna remember it. So there's that. Okay, then I did pick up, when I got there, I realized that I didn't bring any needles with me. I had scissors, but I didn't have any needles. So they carried a whole bunch of different needles, but then I had my favorite needles, the Sullivan's Easy Glide ball tip needles. So I bought a pack of 26 and a pack of 28. Then, oh, I'm so sorry, that was really loud. And then I was looking for, okay, let me move on. I'm gonna go to something different first. Okay, so there's a pattern that I had ordered a while ago. It's by ABC Works, and it's called Majestic Lace, and it's a round circle, and it's like, it has some flowers in it, but it looks like a lace pattern. I'll try to put a picture in here of it. I'll insert a picture of the pattern. ABC, Works by ABC is what it's called. So it's done in all white or blanc DMC. And it was done on a week's dye works called it was a dark purple color. I can't remember the name. Grape, maybe, I don't know. So I was wanting something similar, but it was hard to tell what the colors were online. But before I got to their shop, I was looking online for fabrics, and I'd screenshotted this one. And while I was there and telling him what I was looking for, he's like, well, what about this one? It was the same one that I took a screenshot of. So I was like, yes. And so this fabric is called, what is it called? Red Skies at Night. And I do not remember who it was by, but it's called Red Skies at Night. Let me look. Oh, there's a tag on it. I'll look on the tag. Under the Sea fabric. So I got a fat half because this is going to be a big project, and it's 32 count linen. So it's 26 by 36. And I'm just going to hold it up so you can kind of see what it looks like. So it's got, it's mostly like a purple, but then it's got a little bit of like, kind of, what's that color? Magenta or something mixed in with it. It's in this camera, it's actually kind of looks blue, but it's purple to my eye. And there might be some blue in it, but to me, when I look at overall, it looks more purpley. So you can see how that would pop on it. It's a big, look, I'm gonna start in the middle and work my way out. But this is Under the Sea Fabrics, Red Skies at Night. And so I tried to start this in the car, but I was having a hard time doing it because it's darker, and my eyes weren't adjusting to the holes for some reason in this linen, even though it's 32 count. And I couldn't figure out where to start. My eyes just weren't seeing the square. I don't know. So I think I need to have it on a frame or a Q-snap or something to kind of tighten it up a little bit so that the holes will be easier for me to see. But after I get started, it'll be easier. Because you know, have to start it a little bit to kind of see. Anyway, so I hope that I don't have a problem stitching on this. It's really pretty though. Look, I love it. All right, so that is that project. Then I asked, after I picked those out, I thought I was done. And now I said, okay, do y'all have a restroom I can use? Because I really need to use the restroom before I get back in the car. And while I was walking in there, I said, oh, wait a second. Do y'all have that Mirabilia Santa? And so when I came out, he had pulled it. And I'm talking about this one. So I said, I've always wanted to do this one. I feel like I would display it at Christmas if I finish. It's full coverage and could probably be done on any fabric. This one's done on 32 count French lace linen. And you could also use 16 count French lace Aida. So I think that I'm going to do it on a 28 count gridded Lugana. And so that would equal 14 count because it also has beads. Okay, and some of these beads look pretty kind of big. So I'm gonna do it on the 28 count over 2 and see how that works. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know when I'm gonna start this. Probably sometime in July. And I'm going to tell you my plans in a minute. Okay, and then I got the pattern, but he didn't have the beads. And so while I was in there, he called Ronnie and asked him if they had the beads there at their house, and they did. And also I was looking for another piece of fabric that he couldn't find that he thought he had. And so Ronnie brought it down from their house because I think they live pretty close by. And I think a deer just ran through my yard. That was weird. Okay, so I got to meet Ronnie as well. And so I was like, oh, my trip is it's complete now. It's complete. I've met both of them. So thank you, Ronnie, for taking the time. I know that you had a dog that was had just had surgery, and you were dealing with her, or there's something else, or maybe the other dog is by itself. I can't remember. Anyway, glad your doggies are okay. And but thank you for coming down and bringing this to me. It's because I got to meet you, and I'm going to put the picture that we took together right here. Okay, and this is the piece of fabric that I was looking for before they came. It is, before he brought it down, it was Fabrics by Stephanie called Busy Izzy, and it's 18 count Aida, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. But I just like the way it looked, and I'm really enjoying working on Aida for some reason. Like going back to really liking Aida. So this is Busy Izzy, and it's just kind of got some splashes of pink, purples, blue, and green, and I don't know. I thought it might be kind of cool to try to stitch maybe I don't know. I haven't. If you know something that would go perfect on this fabric, this 18 count fabric, then let me know. But it's Busy Izzy. So that is my haul from the Garon Stitchery that I was so excited. If you get a chance and you're in the area, I would suggest you taking a little trip into Ozark, Alabama, and checking out their shop. And then maybe you'll actually get to meet them as well. But I don't know if they have anybody that works with them, or if it's just them. But their shop is fantastic. And I wish that I had more time. I will be making another stop, either there or on the way, if I can get my sweet husband to comply. All right. Okay, so now for my plans. My plans going forward are just to work on my dimensions garden door for the next week. And then in July, for the dimensions, I'm going to have all dimensions Christmas starts every week. And that's going to be my Christmas in July, which is actually going to go along with Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch, who's also doing Christmas in July. So I don't know if I'll just tag her or use a hashtag or what. I don't know. I need to watch. I'm sure she's coming out with a video soon. But yeah, so I feel like, because I told you last week that I got to talk to Zoom with Dina. So I feel like I've just been rubbing elbows with all these FlossTube famous people, and I'm just like little Angela, who's not. But I sure do appreciate the time that I got to spend with each of them. And I just love everyone who's in this cross stitch community. But that's my plans. I actually will probably be at the beach because I'm going back for a while at some point. And I will probably be stitching on all Christmas stuff for July. And that's it. That's my plans. Now, does that mean that So I will have some new starts. I'll be stitching on Christmas, and I also would like to spend some time to work on some of my Christmas dimensions kits I've already started. For instance, Christmas Cove. I've started that and it looks really good, but I need to work on it some more. So I want to work on it in July. And then my Holy Night stocking from Dimensions, I want to work on that some. And then I also have I think it's called Holy Nativity. It's a gold petite, and I want to work on that. So I don't know how many days. I don't have like a set thing, but I need to get myself a little organized this week and I might like spin the wheel to choose which one of those I'll stitch each day. And I actually need to pull them out and like sit them in a basket or something so they're ready for me to go. I think that's it. It's hot here in Georgia. I'm in North Georgia, but it's hot. I'm sure it's hot where you are too. I know it's hot a lot of places right now. There's like heat waves. There are a lot of people who are having to deal with this heat without air condition, I bet. And that would just be not fun. And so, I mean, I just encourage everyone to drink water, stay hydrated, and try to get in some shade, take care of yourself, keep yourself safe. I will be back it's probably going to be a couple weeks before I'm back, because next week is the week of the 4th, and so I don't know how that's going to work out. So it'll probably be 2 weeks, but I will let you know everything that I do for the next 2 weeks, and I can't wait to come back and share that. I want to see how far I can get on the garden door. I don't know. I got a busy week this week. I've got a couple of appointments. I need to go see my dad. I need to take my mom somewhere, and I also have to move my son out of his apartment all before Friday. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for continuing to come back week after week. For those of you that come back, some of you are like, nah, not for me. And that's fine. If you don't like dimensions kits and it's boring or you're not interested, then that's okay. Maybe you'll try me out another time. Maybe I'll be working some other things in that you're interested in. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.